Well, it's obvious to most people that, my style, my way of being is very feminine. I don't think about it very much. It's just letting things express as they naturally do. But I do think it's very particular to the feminine view on life that every dimension of our existence is sacred, that nothing needs to be gotten rid of, that everything can be used as a gateway to deeper wisdom. So that means that we don't need to discard our physicality, our sexuality, our heartfulness, our relational nature. All of these things can become part of the path of awakening, part of the vehicle for awakening. So I think the feminine perspective is a perspective that doesn't that really includes our humanity. And I also think that the feminine is very much about embodiment. If you look at what the energy of the feminine does, is it brings things from formlessness into form, into the fullness, into the manifest world. And there's something to me about the deep feminine that's interested not just in the process of realizing what we are, but also actualizing our realization. So it's practical. So I find in myself an emphasis on making this work very practical, on making the invitation to be still, to know what we are, to practice defenseless meeting of what's actually here as a really grounded, day in, day out, ordinary thing. That the mystical and spiritual path is not separate from the ordinary activities of human life. And so what that means is that we don't have to go and live in a monastery or a special community. Ordinary life is intrinsic to spiritual practice, the way that we make breakfast and sit with the ones we love. That's a practice of presence. The way that we sit at our desk and respond to emails. How present are we? How open are we? How connected are we to ourselves? What is it that really wants to be communicated? What is it that is coming in that needs to be heard? What's the intelligent response? So these ordinary things that we are all dealing with, particularly in the Western world, I think the feminine doesn't see those things as separate from the path of awakening. And I think also you couldn't speak about the feminine without mentioning something about love. And although love is not a gender issue, it's a human issue. And love is even beyond concept. Love is part of the depth, the presence of what we are. But there's something that I think is very feminine about the approach that I certainly feel moving through me very strongly, which is to love people back into the awareness of who they are. That the days of, hitting ourselves on the head with a big hammer in order to stop doing certain things isn't so helpful. That human beings open up and are more easily able to face more challenging truths when there is an environment of deep unconditional love and acceptance. And to me that is an intrinsic aspect of the feminine essence, and therefore a big part of the process.